What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. Today, we're going to talk about the week that was, what happened. We're going to talk about Trump and tacos. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the S&P, what happened with the VIX, what happened with bonds, and I'm going to be telling you the stocks that you need to be watching for next week. So with that, let's dig in. All right, traders. So on Friday, the market had quite the range. I want you to look at this. We were down to 58.43 from our close of 59.12 the day before. So we were down over 1%. We closed unchanged. The Dow up. We got this nice rally that pretty much consisted all the way through until, about a little after 3:30. Just a really, really strong move. And then we got some chop into the close, closing basically mixed, unchanged, if you will. But the reason we sold off was Trump tariff news, and then they just kind of bought it. There was no change in news, no anything. But there's the belief that there will be flip-flops. They're calling it the Trump always caves or taco trade. And that seems to be the trade they went with. There was some nice stuff in terms of price action that occurred, but there wasn't any news. So it's just dip buying and betting that there will be the taco trade back on when it comes to China and when it comes to NVIDIA chips and things like that. So that's, I believe, why the S&P did what it did. The Russell 2000 did close the day the softest. That's usually not a great sign. I like things potentially down a little bit on Monday. But even so, what we did see some positive things out of the market. VIX closing below 19. VIX futures are in a very, very nice contango right now. That front month future is 20. July is 21, and you've got VIX all the way down at 1850. Now you're going to get a little bit of weekend adjustment back to 19. But their pricing volatility, like it is going to continue to pull back, and that we're going to be kind of in a condensed bull range. Now, talking about SPX this week, we come in Monday, and we have this huge pop from Monday to Friday, and then basically the top Monday was the top for the week. Now, we did trade higher multiple times, but we didn't close higher. So the level for next week that you're watching is we want to see a close above 59.22. That would be a sign that, hey, maybe we're getting a little bullishness. But that being said, we held 3 days, nice gap higher, 3-day hold. We could basically open a little bit lower on Monday and then take off. Volatility is saying that's entirely possible. And bonds down a little bit on Friday, but not very much. Sitting at the 21-day. Still looking pretty bullish. I'd love to see us break toward 87. I think that is potentially in the cards. But the bond market is behaving. That is going to give the stock market some leeway to rally. Heading into next week, I remain suspicious of Apple. Nice range on Friday. Nice range, was a lot lower, closed slightly up. But it looks soft. And Tesla, I think you want to look at the sell-off on Friday as a potential buying opportunity. I think it's going to potentially go back up. All right, so now looking ahead next week with SPX and VIX, we have non-farm payrolls on Friday. That is going to be a big deal. We have ISM manufacturing PMI on Monday. You have ISM services on Wednesday. Fed beige book. We have the ISM manufacturing as well. And we've got job openings on Tuesday and ADP unemployment on Wednesday. So there's plenty, and I mean plenty, of economic reports ahead of Friday's non-farm payrolls. So what are they pricing in for movement? I think it's relatively inexpensive, only about $100, call it less than 2%. I think we're definitely going to move more than that over the week. So I think premiums look relatively inexpensive given how much we have been moving. And, if we can get, bonds continue to rally, and the S&P can take out 59.21, you could see the VIX make a run at 17. That is the way things line up. But the way I'd be building my position, long the market, short Apple as kind of my hedge, and then maybe something with bonds around it as a hedge as well. All right, everybody. If you've not watched the presentation Hannah and Vaz did on Wednesday, it's in here. It's in this email. Make sure to click and watch it. You're going to learn a bunch. You're watching me on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, leave a question or comment, and I will get to it. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. I will talk to you guys soon.